So if you guys remember, I did a video recently talking about both FragPunk and Spectre Divide for two different reasons. FragPunk, obviously, is a brand new video game, relatively new, that has come out to a little over 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. Fairly decently successful. Not amazing for a free-to-play game, but fairly successful. And if they do the right thing, they should be able to monetize that 100,000 plus concurrent players. However, Spectre Divide is on the opposite side of that, where they just recently announced the shutdown of this video game and the closing of the studio that was behind it. But here's the crazy story. Somehow, both of these stories have melded together, where now the FragPunk team has apparently wrote something on Twitter destroying Spectre Divide and making fun of their shutdown, and people are apparently a little angry over it. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think these two stories were going to cross, to be honest with you. When I saw this headline, I was like, wait a second. I just made a video on both of these companies separately for two different reasons, and now they're crossing, and I just find this to be very odd. So let's get into this article, guys, from Insider Gaming. But, of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the article reads, FragPunk team posts disgusting response to Spectre Divide shutdown before eventually deleting it. Chances are, guys, I want you to understand, man, I'm sure you guys do, the entire community, like the community ran pages for these video games, for these studios, they're all ran by essentially Gen Z children. That's what they're ran by. They're ran by people that try to use specific buzzwords that the kids are going to like. You know what I mean? They talk about clout. They talk about all this nonsense. They talk about Riz, whatever nonsense. They're ran by people that absolutely are unaware of making something that could be potentially tone deaf, all because they wanted to get that sweet, sweet engagement, because that's what they're hired for. They are hired to not only maintain the social media page, but to also grow the social media page and to get interactions, to get engagements. That's what they're hired by these companies to do. So it's not shocking to see them do something like this. But the fact that they did this to this game that's in a very similar style as them, thinking that you're somehow, immune to being shut down? Chances are we're going to be hearing about FragPunk being shut down within the next year. But that's besides the point. Recently, it was announced that after just a few months on the market and amid the failure of the game's first season, both Spectre Divide and Mountaintop Studios will be shutting down next month. Spectre Divide, an ambitious first-person multiplayer shooter, was first released in August of 2024, but the player base quickly dwindled. The Mountaintop team revealed that despite funding, the game isn't making enough money to remain online or support the studio, so it's being closed down. In response to the team at FragPunk, which is another free-to-play multiplayer shooter released just a week ago, posted an image on social media that has been slammed as disgusting by the Mountaintop team. Now, I actually ended up looking into it further and seeing how much money that was invested into Spectre Divide. And guys, this is insane. The game had received investments and funding of upwards of over $40 million. It is absolutely insane how much money this game actually got invested into. If anything, if you look at this article here from Games Radar, it says Spectre Divide came out of the gate swinging last September, boasting a massive endorsement from streaming star Shroud, a novel take on the genre that had each player controlling two characters at the same time, and over $60 million in investments from the last few years. So forget the 40, they had over $60 million in investments, and they lost it all in the span of 1 year. And that's because the game just didn't deliver. It also was being ignored by the streamer that supported it in the first place. Shroud completely ignored it. The game lost $60 million. It is absolutely disgusting. But let's go back to this post and see what's got everybody's panties in a twist. So FragPunk post has now been removed, but not before eagle-eyed gamers grab screenshots. If you look here, this is the post from Spectre Divide, which is a message from their CEO talking about the shutdown and how sad they are. And what did FragPunk do? FragPunk posted a meme saying, "So you messed up? Well, I could do it all day." Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I mean, listen, this is a great troll. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for a good troll, but dude, You've got to be kidding me. This is unbelievably tone deaf. And the funny thing is, again, this is FragPunk, right? It's not like this is some massive IP, bro. This is a new video game that has a semi-decent player base that can easily and will most likely quickly dwindle, just like Spectre Divide. And you're going to run into an issue where you will probably be the one getting this meme in about a year or so, because you're going to be announcing your own personal shutdown within a year or so. You're in your prime right now, so it's very easy to feel like this. But my God, what a ridiculous post. One of the first people to share this online was Marcus Schubert, one of the producers working at Mountaintop Studios. He wrote on LinkedIn the following: NetEase Games, this is disgusting. Shame on you. For those unaware, the top post is our farewell letter indicating that Mountaintop Studios is shutting down. Like, yo, NetEase is on a rampage. FragPunk is published by NetEase, the same gaming titan behind the overwhelmingly successful Marvel Rivals. The post was likely the work of a social media intern or community manager somewhere, but that shouldn't be used as an excuse to brush it under the rug. That's exactly what it is. And again, I'm not making excuses, but that 100% is what it is. This is a young social media intern that was hired to manage the account, and they thought that this was going to be in their best interest. They really did. They thought that that was going to be what they should have posted, which is insane. At the time when the studio closures, cancellations, and layoffs are tearing the industry apart, publishers and developers should support one another rather than mocking the downfall of a hardworking team. If recent trends are anything to go by, XDefiant and Concord, for example, then FragPunk shouldn't be potentially be casting stones in a glass house. Oh, I'm glad that Insider Gaming said that, because that's what I was saying earlier in the video. I can't believe that you are trying to pretend as if you're immune to being shut down when pretty much almost every game before you has been shut down because they failed. And let's be real, FragPunk doesn't have incredible numbers for a free-to-play game. They have enough that if they can maintain it, they will be able to monetize it. But let's be real, that doesn't exactly happen 99% of the time. They're probably going to lose 90% of their player base within the next few months, most likely, over time. And then they're going to be the ones that are going to be worried about getting a meme on Twitter and being made fun of. It's so ridiculous. Presently, FragPunk has a peak on Steam of more than 110,000 players, while Spectre Divide peaked at just 26,200. However, XDefiant had millions of players, and we all know what happened with that. Yeah, XDefiant had over 20 million active players at one point, and they dropped down to 20,000 players. So it's very clear that you are not immune. You are not protected. You are not, like, I want to be very clear. FragPunk will most likely be the next story for us to read within a year or so of a studio shutting down and a game shutting down because they just couldn't make enough money. They just couldn't get enough revenue, and they just couldn't get enough support, unfortunately, to continue on with their video game. And then I think everybody at that point should remember this post, remember this video, and make sure you have your memes ready for the eventual announcement of FragPunk shutting down. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.